Hawaiian students, which includes those from native Polynesian populations as well as those from around the Pacific Rim, including Japan and China. Many of her students, most of them from disadvantaged backgrounds, struggle to work out what it means to be Hawaiian. Amber's 9th grade course in ethnic studies has helped students develop positive social identities and has reduced violence at her school. Amber, please come up. Oh, not yet. We're going to throw to the video.
I teach ethnic studies and philosophy at Kailua High School, and one of the approaches that I use to designing curriculum and to teaching this course is to be a culturally responsive teacher. I'm acknowledging that my students come from various different backgrounds, and I'm seeing that as a strength, and I want to craft a pedagogy that capitalizes on that strength in the classroom.
I felt uncomfortable assuming which ethnicity everyone else was, and uncomfortable with people making assumptions about me.
Do you feel uncomfortable when you walk around in the hall every day at school and make assumptions about people, or do you think that this was uncomfortable because maybe you were going to have to share it in this class?
I thought I was going to have to share it, so I was getting kind of nervous.
When you actually become accountable for your assumptions, that's what makes you nervous. And we're using the tools of critical thinking so that they're working on their thinking skills while they're negotiating this academic discourse related to who am I, do I belong, how do I relate to other people. There's different levels of being local. And so I have a question then. If there's different levels of being local, do you think there's different levels of respect that local people give to other people? It gets them to look at assumptions and to start breaking down their prejudices. And these critical thinking tools can transfer across any discipline and any content area. And one of the critical parts of our discussions is that they have to be done in an intellectually safe environment so that students feel comfortable sharing what they really think about things and using specific examples from their life.
2nd grade, I remember like we were living on the streets. It's something very personal, something very deep that I always had to hide from everybody because I didn't feel like I would be accepted. Like I can share it now because I feel like we came together as a family.
The teaching strategies I don't think are unique to me as a person. I think that these are things that teachers across the globe can be using in their classrooms, and I'm seeing that there's a direct relationship between the social emotional aspects of who we are and the cognitive development that we experience.
You can use what you learn about other people's opinions and what you learn about yourself from those people's opinions, and you can apply that in the future.
And I've learned that the only way that I'm going to get my students to be able to develop their critical thinking is that they need to be emotionally connected to the content that we're studying. And they need to do it in this community of inquiry where they're really interested in hearing what other people have to say about things.
I need to know, like, well, how does everyone feel about being local? People who are not local, how does that make them feel, like, to be left out?
Hawaii has all these students from diverse backgrounds. And I think that this is what brings joy and interest to my teaching and keeps it new and different. Okay, awesome job, you guys.
Amber, come on up. On behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Richard W. Riley School of Education at Walden University, I want to give you this award. And I want one of those puffy things that you throw around.
Well, we have to be in our class. In the class.
Makes sense. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Now, I want to introduce you all to the work of Tracy Oliver Gary, whose open enrollment AP History courses at Paint Branch High School, Burtonsville, Maryland, help ensure that all students have opportunities to tackle advanced subjects. Tracy works hard to make sure her diverse students develop the skills
got it. In your groups, I want you to discuss your interviews, okay? Discuss the historical event that the person within the community told you. All right, so 12 minutes and you're taking turns.
What Tracy models is excellence herself. You know, the structure that she provides is very, very important and is helpful to students being able to be successful.
He said in 1946, my uncle Alric Cyrus was killed by a gang member. The gang member...
What I've found is that if a kid believes that I see them, that I see, yes, you're East Asian, but you're from China, or you're East Asian, but you're from Japan, and then I value the differentness between the two, and I'm expecting you to pull in your culture, your experiences into my classroom. They share, they connect to the class, and a lot of times if kids connect to a class, they want to do well in the class. So then it helps the teacher out, and then it helps the kids out, and it also helps to create an environment in which other kids can learn from each other.
You have to work on your background. Yeah.
How can I do that?
By saying like it was your sister that was there.
My grandpa believed that Independence Day for India was the happiest moment of his life because he was 14 when it happened and he lived through British rule.
The goal is for them to learn something of their own cultures or their family background that they didn't know before. And then my little sidetrack goal is to help them to even build relationships with their parents by asking them and sharing and learning something that they didn't know about their parents and respecting their parents a bit more because of their experiences.
I have close personal friends of different ethnicities. And what I mean by close personal friends, I want you to respond to this. They come to your house. Close personal friends of different ethnicities. If you do, please raise your hand. If you don't, raise your hand. So let's talk about the people who do, what allows you to do that quickly, and then the people who don't quickly, okay?
I have an Asian friend and she graduated 2 years ago and we still talk.
This group promotes academic achievement and student success because they begin to feel good about themselves. So if I can help them deal with those issues or help their parents learn that their kid needs to deal with these issues, then my goal is to help that kid then to be able to focus on other things and then they can do better.
Tracy? Thank you. On behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Richard W. Riley School of Education at Walden University, I want to give you this award for your work in culturally responsive teaching. Congratulations. Thank you. And thank you to all of our awardees for the fabulous work that you do in our nation's classrooms.